One, two, three. Welcome everybody to Mom and Dad Talks, where our favorite two people are Mom and Dad, and we have a sad statement today, folks. Harvard's president, Claudine Gay, resigned. And she resigned, and this is what she had here. She announced her resignation in a letter to Harvard community, saying that the decision was difficult beyond words. She also described facing personal attacks and threats fueled by racial animus. That's what she said there, and other things. Of course, you know, the whole thing about the Israelis and Palestinians, whole thing about the conservative site saying the allegations now of plagiarism have been filed in a complaint to the university. That's what we're reading the report here, coming out.
Okay.
A lot of thoughts on this, and you know, when I see conservative people attacking people who plagiarize, I question. The first thing I question is that the former first lady, Trump's wife, recited the former first lady, President Obama's speech verbatim. And they were dismissive over the same stuff like, oh, it's no big deal. It makes the question, folks, just be realistic. You know, you do not want to see Black people succeed. Instead, you want to make allegations and all this stuff to justify your hatred so that it can give you some justice to perform that act. Because hating someone because of the color of their skin or nationality or something is just flat out wrong. Biblically, spiritually wrong. The Bible goes against it. No respecter of persons. But you have people out there who don't really believe in the Bible. They use the Bible. That's what I'll call it, to justify their racial hatred of people because they think that we're not really human beings. And we've talked about this before on this show, that the Constitution calls us 3/4 of a human being. It wasn't until the 13th Amendment gave us full rights to be a human in this country. Think about that, folks. I still got people today thinking I'm not a human being. I don't think. I'm not smart. Dumb. And that's why we have problem. And you hear it all the time in sports, talking about they're not smart enough. I remember basketball. You couldn't play point guard if you were a Black guy because you weren't smart enough. Well, now it was instinctual, and they always use those words instinct because that justifies their prejudice. Those are code words. They never say you're smart and intelligent.
Right. I remember growing up in the 50s and 60s where Black men would not play quarterback because they thought they couldn't remember all the plays.
Yeah.
Look at all the popular quarterbacks now that are Black.
And just remember, the last Super Bowl, for the first time in its history, had 2 Black quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And, you know, as a woman, I want to hear from my aunt and my mom. How do you feel about this? As a Black woman in America, just for your own personal experience, because you guys endured a whole lot.
How do I feel about what?
As a Black woman in America, this lady resigning amongst all this pressure, all this stuff that's happened and stuff. And
first of all, if I'm going to be accused of plagiarism, I want you to show me where I copied word for word and plagiarized. Just to say you are accused of it and not have any proof, I have a problem with it.
well, yeah, go ahead.
Well, we all know that media plants a whole lot of things in society's minds. That society would be you and me and everybody else who listens. So just because they do that doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it true. They don't deal with truth all the time. And so to destroy a Black woman who's on a track. I mean, when I first saw her on TV, I said, boy, she's a strong woman. I never thought that, you know, someone would dig up something that may not necessarily be true
Yeah.
just to get rid of her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, searching for Obama's birth certificate, just stuff like that. That is planted by the media.
Well, it's the relentless search
Yes.
to find fault in people, and it's the arbitrary blindness you let other people go. Because I was watching Epstein. He was surrounded by powerful people.
I was thinking about that.
I was thrown back that everybody was looking the way, including in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Both conservative and Democrat, but because of the color of his skin and the pedigree that he wouldn't even come from the pedigree. The fact of it is he was around those circles. They gave him a pass over some real vile stuff that this man was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so why does this man get a pass? And remember, Harvey Weinstein got a pass.
Mm-hmm.
People knew what he was doing, but they gave him a pass because of why?
Well,
you see what I'm saying? And that's the part that really disturbs me is that certain people get a pass and other people don't for the same stuff. And then you want to call it equal. It's one thing if you're consistent in finding the truth. Okay. But we live in an age where truth is relative to what you want to believe or want to see make happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's what bothers me about the time we're living in now, is that people have their own truth.
Right.
The Bible should be your truth. I mean, that's our Christian foundation. And a lot of people say they like the Bible, but they don't believe it.
But that's ours. That's ours, not necessarily theirs.
And that's true. But I got a lot of people calling themselves Christian, say they believe in that same Bible I have, but have different value systems.
And they have a different interpretation.
Well, and that's true. That's a great point. But the point I'm saying is they read the same Bible I have, but come with a different interpretation, even when presented with truth. And it is what it is. But the problem I have is that if you treated someone on the other side wrong, I saw what happened when people said they were attacking Trump at work. And they were like, oh man, but they're attacking this other president, President Obama, the same way. And like, oh, he was attacked the same way. And I'm saying to myself, they were putting hangings on President Obama. I had to show pictures of that to him to remind him. They were showing hanging him. Just imagine how his wife and children felt. No one was putting hanging and loose necks around Trump's neck when he got elected.
No.
They were just upset the way he won and how he conducted himself. Right? This President Obama didn't conduct himself like that. Just imagine if he made fun of handicapped people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and then they try to justify, well, he was asking wrong. I said, but you don't do that. No. Our value system is really screwed because they're saying basically if you're a certain color and skin, you're allowed to behave a certain way. And that's what bothered me. I'm saying, shouldn't we all behave the same way and be consistent? I mean, at least if you're going to be consistent, I can work with you. But when your value system is screwed up and you pick and choose, that's a very dangerous state to be. If you're a good person, be a good person always. Be consistent. The Bible says this: I'd rather for you hot or cold. It's the lukewarmness that God despises. I'm sorry, I took too much time. What were you guys thinking about that before we close?
You said it all.
Yeah, really.
I mean, it's the difference in the way we see future, or the difference in the way we feel about truth, or even the Bible.
And this is my thing today, folks. Whether you like black folk or not, or whether you like one party better or not, all I'm going to ask you today, be consistent in your value system.
Right.
Whatever it is, be consistent. If you see one thing wrong here, it should be wrong there.
That's right.
It should not transform based upon money, race, color, or anything. You should hold those same standards. It reminded me, of Latrell Sprewell when he choked his coach. No film was there, and people wanted him banned for life. that next week, Kevin Green, God rest his soul, choked the coach on television in front of everybody, grabbed his neck, and he almost got a pass. And when people equated the two, they had to be confronted more with their racism than the actual incidents. And that's all I'm saying, folk, is I'm hoping these people go for everybody, not just this lady over here because she was over Harvard, but I hope they attack everybody and scrutinize everybody the same way they scrutinize this woman.
Right.
That is my hope and prayer if they're about something. But most of these people, I hate to say it, they're not about that. They pick and choose because there's another underlining meaning that they have. So like I said, folks, hopefully today, just be hot or cold. That lukewarm stuff is not good for this country anymore. So be consistent.
Doesn't work.
Be consistent. Till next time, we'll see you on Mom and Dad Talks. Bye.
All right.